Okay, picture this. After 40 years, wandering in the desert, an entire nation is standing on the brink of a promised land. But here's the catch. It's defended by giants and massive fortresses. They have to conquer it. They've got a new leader, a huge army, and a mission that honestly looks completely suicidal.
So their legendary leader, Moses, he's gone. They're stuck on the wrong side of a flooded river, just staring at what looks like an impossible invasion. And their very first target is the fortress city of Jericho, a name that strikes fear into everyone in the region. So really, how do you take down a city like that? You've got no siege towers, no catapults, nothing. Just your army and, well, a whole lot of faith.
Well, you get a new kind of general. His name is Joshua. And listen, he's not just some prophet. This guy is a brilliant military commander. His campaign to take the land of Canaan, it's going to become the stuff of legend. We're talking a masterclass in strategy, shock, and awe. This right here is the anatomy of an ancient blitzkrieg.
All right, Section 1, the impossible invasion. First things first, they have to secure a beachhead. And Joshua's first challenge is, well, it's immense. He has to get an entire nation across the Jordan River while it's at peak flood stage. It's a logistical nightmare, a huge military risk, but it's the only way to get into enemy territory.
You know, any good general knows you need intel before you invade. So what does Joshua do? He sends 2 operatives deep behind enemy lines, right into Jericho itself. Their mission is twofold. Check out the defenses, sure, but more importantly, gauge the city's morale. And they find an insider, a woman named Rahab, who risks literally everything to hide them. The intel they bring back, it's pure gold. Turns out the people of Jericho are absolutely paralyzed with fear. The psychological battle? Oh, it has already begun.
So, with that crucial intel in hand, Joshua pulls off a maneuver of pure shock and awe. Now you'd think he'd build rafts or something, right? Nope. He tells the priests to just walk into the raging floodwaters, carrying the Ark of the Covenant. The second their feet touch the water, the river just stops flowing. It piles up in a heap. The whole army marches across on a dry riverbed right in plain sight of any enemy scouts. This isn't just a river crossing. It's a message to every single kingdom in Canaan. And that message is, we're here, and our God is with us.
Okay, Section 2, Siege by Sound, the Battle of Jericho. So now they're on enemy soil, camped right outside their first major objective, the fortress of Jericho. We're talking impenetrable, double-walled. The gates are sealed, defenders are on high alert. Everyone is digging in for a long, brutal siege. But Joshua's battle plan, well, it's unlike anything the world has ever seen.
So wait a second. The plan is to just walk around the city? Seriously? No catapults, no battering rams, no siege towers? For 6 straight days, the entire army circles the city once a day in total eerie silence, with the only sound being 7 priests blowing trumpets. Just try to imagine your soldier on those walls. The confusion, the tension, the sheer psychological pressure would be building day after day after day. This has to be one of the most bizarre and maybe brilliant siege strategies in all of military history. It's a pure masterclass in psyops, designed to completely break the enemy's will to fight before a single sword is even drawn.
So we get to the 7th day. They circled the city 7 times. Then the priests let out one long final blast on the trumpets. Joshua gives the command, and the entire army lets out a single massive war cry. And right at that moment, the unthinkable happens. The walls, they just crumble. Flat.
So what actually happened here? How did the walls fall? For centuries, historians, scientists, and archaeologists have been debating this. The text is crystal clear on the outcome, but the how, well, that's one of history's great mysteries. It's an ancient cold case, and we are absolutely going to investigate.
So what are the theories? Well, first, you've got pure divine intervention, a straight-up miracle. Or maybe it was a perfectly timed localized earthquake, something Joshua's forces exploited. Then you get into some really interesting science. Some have proposed acoustic resonance, the idea that the specific frequency from the trumpets and the shouts literally caused the mud brick walls to vibrate themselves apart. Or was it simply the ultimate psyop, where the terrified defenders just cracked under the pressure and abandoned their posts?
Hey, we are just getting started with this incredible campaign. If you're loving this breakdown of ancient military tactics and epic history, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss what comes next.
All right, Section 3,
Anatomy of a defeat. This is the crisis at the city of Ai. So after that impossible victory at Jericho, the Israelite army is feeling pretty unstoppable. Morale is through the roof. Their next target is this small, almost insignificant city called Ai. Scouts say it's an easy win. But the assault ends in a shocking, totally humiliating defeat.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it's a tale of two attacks. The first one, it was just pure arrogance. They had bad intel, they tried a simple frontal assault, and there was a major breakdown in discipline. Some guy had stolen loot from Jericho against direct orders. This is a classic military lesson. But Joshua, he doesn't make the same mistake twice. He deals with the discipline problem, then comes up with a brilliant new plan. A fake retreat to draw Ai's army out, while a massive ambush force waits behind the city. It is a classic maneuver, and it is executed perfectly. Result? Total victory.
Okay, next up, the sun stands still. We're talking the Southern Blitzkrieg. Now, news of Jericho's fall and the total victory at Ai sends shockwaves through Canaan, and it causes a panic. 5 powerful Amorite kings realize they can't handle this alone, so they form a massive coalition, combining their armies to crush Joshua's new allies, the Gibeonites, and then wipe out the invasion force for good.
But Joshua is not the kind of general who waits to be attacked. No way. He seizes the initiative. He pulls off one of the greatest forced marches in ancient history, moving his entire army uphill all through the night to launch a surprise attack at dawn. For Joshua, speed and surprise are everything.
The enemy coalition is completely routed, thrown into a total panic. And as they're fleeing, Joshua gets what you could only call the ultimate air support. A freak, supernatural hailstorm just pummels the retreating enemy, and the text says it killed more of them than the actual fighting did. But there's a problem. The sun is setting. The enemy is about to slip away under the cover of darkness.
And right then, in the heat of this desperate chase, General Joshua does something absolutely unthinkable. He doesn't pray for more strength. He doesn't even ask for a miracle. No, he issues a command, not to his men, but to the cosmos itself.
Wait, he actually ordered the sun to stop? That is insane. And according to the text, it works. The sun just hangs in the sky for almost a whole extra day, giving Joshua all the daylight he needs to hunt down and completely annihilate the enemy coalition. This has got to be the most extreme tactical request in military history, literally using a cosmic event as a force multiplier to get the job done.
All right, final military phase, the Northern Hammer, total conquest. With the entire South completely shattered, Joshua turns his army north. And up there, an even bigger threat is waiting. A sprawling new alliance of kings gathers a massive army. The text says they were as numerous as the sand on the seashore, with tons of horses and chariots. This is it, the decisive battle for the North.
And his strategy here is just relentless. It's that ancient form of blitzkrieg, lightning war, all over again. He uses speed to launch another surprise attack that just shatters the massive northern army. And he never ever lets them regroup. He just keeps moving. Attack, conquer, move on. He maintains that momentum and keeps his enemies in a constant state of panic. So now, the war is over. The land is conquered. It's been divided up among the tribes. Years go by, and Joshua, now a very old man, gathers the nation together one last time. But this isn't a victory speech. He's not there to talk about his famous battles. He's there to issue a final, stark warning. What he tells them is that the military conquest, that was just the beginning. The real fight, the ongoing battle, was for the heart and soul of the nation. See, the land was theirs, but their loyalty, that was the true prize. He lays out a choice for them, crystal clear. You can serve the gods of the nations around you, or you can serve the God who gave you this victory. He's telling them the true war was never about land, it was a spiritual one. So, back to that ancient cold case. What's your verdict? The fall of Jericho. Was it a pure miracle? A freak earthquake? Some kind of sonic weapon? Or was it just the most brilliant piece of psychological warfare of the entire Bronze Age? Let us know what you think. Drop your theory in the comments below. But here's the thing. After Joshua, that unity completely shatters. The heroes are gone and a dark age begins. That cycle of obedience and victory, it gets replaced by a new, brutal cycle of betrayal and oppression. Next time, we are diving into the chaotic era of the Judges, a time when legendary warriors like Samson arise. Trust me, you are not ready for the cycle of blood and betrayal that's coming next.